I'm Ivy. I will be presenting the current security weaknesses in XYZ Sdn Berhad. Based on the case study, the company has several major issues in its information security program. First, under governance and policy, the organization does not have a CISO or any formal security leadership structure. This means there is no clear accountability or direction for managing security risks. In addition, there are no documented security policies, and the company relies on a reactive approach, where security problems are only addressed after incidents occur. Furthermore, there are no security performance measurements, making it difficult to evaluate the organization's security effectiveness. Secondly, in terms of risk and protection, the company has not conducted any formal risk assessment and has not classified its assets. This makes it difficult to identify critical systems and prioritize protection efforts. The organization also suffers from weak password practices and does not implement multi-factor authentication. In addition, there is no encryption, which exposes data to eavesdropping risks, and no protection against DDoS attacks, which previously caused an 18-hour downtime. Finally, under people and continuity, employees have poor security awareness and there is no structured training program. Incident response procedures are unclear, meaning staff may not know how to react during a cyber attack. Moreover, backups are not regularly tested and the business continuity plan is incomplete, increasing the risk of prolonged service disruption. To address these issues, several improvements are proposed to strengthen governance, policy, and program management. First, under governance structure, the company should appoint a CISO who reports directly to the CEO. This ensures strong leadership and accountability. In addition, a security steering committee should be established involving different departments such as IT, HR, legal, finance, and operations. Clear roles and responsibilities should also be defined to ensure effective coordination. Next, the organization should adopt the NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0, particularly the govern function. This framework will help define organizational context, risk management strategies, policies, and responsibilities in a structured and systematic way. Furthermore, a comprehensive information security policy framework should be implemented. This includes the Enterprise Information Security Policy, which defines overall strategy, issues specific security policies such as password, email, and remote access policies, and system-specific security policies covering patch management, backups, and firewall configurations. In terms of enforcement and monitoring, the organization should follow the SEC-SDLC approach, require mandatory policy acknowledgement from employees, and conduct annual policy reviews to ensure continuous improvement. Additionally, key performance indicators should be established to measure effectiveness. For example, training completion should reach 100%, phishing click rate should be below 5%, patch compliance should be above 95% within 48 hours, and backup success rate should be 100%. Finally, the third-party security governance should be strengthened by conducting vendor risk assessment, including security requirements in contracts and ensuring vendors report any breaches within 24 hours.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I will present the risk assessment and risk management for XYZ Sdn Berhad. Based on the case study, XYZ has experienced several security issues, including phishing attack, weak password, delayed software patching, a DDoS attack, and a weakness in backup and business continuity. Therefore, a proper risk assessment is needed to protect critical assets and reduce operational risk. So this slide summarizes the key assets identified during the risk assessment and their associated risks. The customer database is vulnerable to data breaches due to weak password and phishing attack. The payment system faces the risk of unauthorized access because of weak authentications. The online sale platform is exposed to DDoS attack, which have already caused an 80-hour service disruptions. The order processing system may experience service disruption or data manipulations if software patch are delayed or system monitoring is inadequate. The remote collaborations tools are at risk of unauthorized access and eavesdropping because of weak access control and insecure remote connections. Employee accounts are vulnerable to quantitative due to phishing attack and poor security awareness. The backup system face the risk of data loss because backups are not tested regularly. In addition, unclear in this incident response procedures may lead to slow incident recovery, while incomplete business continuity planning increasing the risk of extended service outages. So the likelihood of phishing attack, weak password, delay software patching, and DDoS attack is considered high because this incident has already occurred in the company. This means they are more likely to happen again if no improvement are made. The impact of this risk is also significant. A successful attack could expose sensitive customer information, interrupt business operations, cause financial loss, and damage the company's reputations. In addition, poor backup testing and incomplete business continuity planning could delay recovery and prolong service outages. To minimize these risks, XYZ should adopt a risk mitigation strategy by implementing appropriate technical and administrative control. The company should enforce multi-factor authentications and stronger password policies to prevent unauthorized access. Regular software patching and continuous monitoring can reduce system vulnerabilities, while DDoS protections help maintain the availability of the online sale platform. In addition, VPN and encryptions should be used to secure remote communications. Regular employee security awareness training can reduce phishing attacks and credentials theft. Finally, backup should be tested periodically, and both the business continuity plan and disaster recovery plans should be regularly reviewed and tested to ensures faster recovery during security incidents. So in conclusions, these measures will reduce the likelihood of cyber attack, minimize their impact, and strengthen XYZ overall security and business resilience. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Suti, and I'm going to present about question 3, which is the protection mechanisms and access control that can be implemented by XYZ Sendirian Berhad. Information security is important for protecting organizational data, systems, and business operation from cyber threats. So XYZ Sendirian Berhad has experienced phishing emails, weak password practices, delayed software updates, poor employee awareness, eavesdropping incidents, and DDoS attacks. Therefore, effective protection mechanism and access control measures are needed to protect information assets, prevent unauthorized access, and ensure business continuity. Now, I'm going to talk about the proposed solution for XYZ Sendirian Berhad. So for the first proposed solution is access control and limiting permission. Not every employee in XYZ Sendirian Berhad needs access to everything. Their employees should have only access to systems and data that are necessary for their jobs. This follows the concept of least privilege. For example, if an account is being hacked through phishing, the damage will only be limited to a small part of the system. For the second proposed system is strong password policy and multi-factor authentication, which is MFA. XYZ Sendirian Berhad should implement a strong password policy. The password should have at least 12 characters, which includes uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Multi-factor authentication MFA should also be implemented. The MFA provides an additional layer of security through second-step verification. This can help to reduce the impact of weak password and phishing attacks. For the third proposed solution is email security protection. Phishing emails are a major security issue for XYZ Sendirian Berhad. The company should strengthen their email security measures. Some security controls can be implemented, such as email filters, anti-phishing tools, spam detection system, and email authentication technologies. These security controls help to reduce the phishing attacks and email-based cyber threats. Now, for the fourth proposed solution is faster software patching. XYZ Sendirian Berhad has been slow to update their software. The company should establish a proper patch management process. The security updates and software fixes should be applied on a fixed schedule. Automatic tools can help to update the operating systems, application, and network devices. A good patch management can help to prevent hackers from exploiting their security weaknesses. And for the fifth proposed solution is protection against malware and cyber attacks. XYZ Sendirian Berhad should install antivirus, anti-malware, and endpoint protection system. These security tools can help to monitor threats in real time. They can help to detect, block, and remove harmful software. This is very important because the company has previously experienced phishing attacks and cybersecurity incidents. And for the sixth proposed solution is the protecting against DDoS attacks. The 18-hour disruption has shown that XYZ Sendirian Berhad lacks of sufficient DDoS protection. The company should invest in DDoS protection services. Cloud-based DDoS protection can help to detect and filter malicious traffic. This can help to prevent future service disruption. The last proposed solution is logging and monitoring activity. XYZ Sendirian Berhad should implement centralized logging and monitoring systems. User logins, failed login attempts, file access, and network activities should be monitored. The security monitoring tools can help to identify suspicious activities and provide real-time alerts. By having continuous monitoring can help the company to detect, investigate, and respond to security incidents more effectively. So to conclude this part, protection mechanism and access control measures are important to strengthen information security. These measures can help to protect information assets, reduce security risks, prevent unauthorized access, and ensure business continuity. By implementing these controls can improve the overall security of XYZ Sendirian Berhad. So that's all for my part. Thank you.
Now I will present the security education, training, and awareness recommendations for XYZ and Real Berhad. Based on the case study, XYZ has experienced several security issues. These issues show that the company needs to improve its employee cybersecurity knowledge and security awareness. So the first recommendation is to conduct regular security awareness training. The company should organize mandatory cybersecurity training for all employees every 6 months. The training should cover topics such as company security policies, data protections, social engineering attacks, and safe internet practice. Refresher training should also be provided whenever new tricks or security policies are introduced. This helps employees stay updated to reduce the risk of human error. The second recommendation is to strengthen phishing awareness. Since phishing attacks have already affected the company, employees should participate in regular phishing simulations exercise. These simulations help employees learn how to identify suspicious email in a safe environment. They should also be trained to verify email senders, avoid clicking unknown link or attachments, and report suspicious email immediately to the IT security teams. So the third recommendation is to improve password security practice. Employees should be trained to create strong and unique passwords instead of using weak or repeated passwords. The company should also request multi-factor authentications or MFA for all company accounts. In addition, employees should be encouraged to use password managers to store password securely. The fourth recommendation is to establish clear incident reporting procedures. Employees should know exactly how and where to report any suspected security incidents. The company should also conduct regular incident response drills so that employees understand their responsibility and can respond quickly during an actual security incident. Faster responding helps reduce the impact of cyber attack. So finally, because XYZ use remote collaboration tools, the company should promote secure remote working practice. Employees should be trained to use VPNs when accessing company system remotely, secure their home Wi-Fi network, and avoid sharing confidential information through unsecure communications channels. These practices help protect company data while supporting flexible working arrangement. In conclusion, there's STTA initiative will improve employee awareness, reduce human-related security risks, and strengthen the overall security posture for XYZ Sandra Berhad. Thank you.
Now let's start with what went wrong. The XYZ company had no formal incident response process. There was no documented chain of command, no predefined procedures, and no playbook for when a security event occurred. This occurrence was real, especially for a business like an e-commerce company that lives under and lives and die by uptime. The 18-hour of downtime means a loss in sales, frustrated customers, and damaged trust. On top of that, XYZ's backup were never really tested. A backup that has never been restored is functionally the same as with no backup at all. For the IRP, our recommendations to this is to implement a formal incident response plan following the NIST SP 800-61 framework, which defined the four phrases with its preparation, detection and analysis, containment, eradication, and recovery, and also the post-incident review. For preparation, it means assembling an incident response team with clear roles and drawn from existing either IT or management staff. So no new department is needed. For detection and analysis, it means that it means defining what counts as an incident and how severe it is. We recommend a 4-tier system, which is the low, medium, high, and critical, so that people are aware of what level is activated. For containment, eradication, and recovery, it means that having a pre-approved playbook for this company specifically, the DDoS response playbook is to be used like Cloudflare phishing playbook with credential reset procedure, and a payment breach playbook covering the obligations under the Malaysia's PDPA. And lastly, for the post-incident review, a standard lesson learned session after every major incident, because maintaining a 24/7 SOS is cost prohibited for a 260% company. We also recommend engaging a management system service provider on retaining for a high and critical event, along with the on-call rota for after hours coverage. Backup and recovery program. We recommend XYZ to adapt the 3-2-1 backup rule. So this means three copies of data across two different media types, with one copy stored offsite or in the cloud, like the AWS S3. This is specifically critical for customers' database and payment records. Also recommend the RTO of 4 hours or less for critical systems like the order processing platform and payment gateway. The RPO of 1 hour or less for transactional data, meaning that no more than 1 hour of data should ever be at risk or be lost. And lastly is the quarterly restore drills. So this means through the documentation, it restores the drill, signed off by the IT lead, testing a ton of theoretical safety net into verified one. Business continuity plan. Before building the BCP, the XYZ company should conduct a business impact analysis, or BIA, to identify the most critical functions, whether it's online availability, order processing, payment processing, or even customer support. Yeah, this is to determine whether the recovery resource should go. The BCP is then documented for pre-approved continuity strategies for each distribution scenario. For example, a DDoS attack triggers the DDoS mitigation and a DNS switch to the secondary CDN. Yeah, for payment gateway outage, a trigger of failover to the secondary processor. It also includes a communication plan, pre-drafted templates. So that means that during a crisis, the customers and stakeholders are informed promptly, and the silence during this would only cause an amplified anxiety. Finally, the BCP should be tested and tested at least annually through the tabletop exercise, where teams would walk through the simulated scenarios and validate their decision. To close, all these improvements should be aligned with the internationally recognized standards, ISO IEC 27035 for incident management, ISO 22301 for business continuity. These frameworks satisfy due diligence requirements and align with the Malaysia's PDPA obligations.